Lawyers of Reddit, what are the most interesting things people have included in wills that you've seen? Spoke to a lawyer recently to work out some things related to wills. They said they're getting an increasing number of requests where lawyers are given the names and passwords to people's online accounts to social media and gaming platforms to let their online friends know they have passed on, shut the accounts down, and if the accounts have anything of value, to hand that out to remaining friends. Google has this built in now, so if you don't log in, it will delete all data or pass on credentials. Ike. Someone's EVE online account. It was worth thousands apparently. He had no family, so he willed it to one of his friends, and one of his other friends threw a fit. Two grown men fighting over an online game account. Found out a couple of years later, friend 2 turned in friend 1 to the online game police and the account got taken away or something. Apparently terms of service violation or something. Sounds like friend 1 needed to keep his goddamn mouth shut and he'd have been fine. Could be worse. It could have come up in discussions of the will post-mortem. I'm privy to some up due to wills. Thanks to the complete and utter fest that is my best friend's family. I really pity his half-niece. She never got a chance. The long and the short of it is that mental illness doesn't just affect the sick person. It can cause crap that then echoes through generations. All it takes is friend 2 asking the lawyer about the account and the lawyer answering to have those kinds of repercussions. Friend 1 might never have said a thing. Not a lawyer, but my buddy is one. Couple months ago he said an older lady had asked him to include something quite peculiar. She had left the instructions for her family to decorate the family Christmas tree. The weird thing was that on her daughter-in-law was the only one to put ornaments on the tree and her granddaughter was supposed to put the star on top. After she had passed about a week later, he read the will to the family and a bunch of drama followed. Pretty weird will, if you ask me. This lady likes to create drama. Granny sitting in her rocking chair on Christmas watching all of her family hogging all the good ornaments. Man. This. Dies. I had a client demand a Viking funeral. I tried making it work within the confines of the law. Most wills are like tax returns by a community theater. And to my best friend Delia, the rags I wore in the 2017 production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. With the stipulation that she must not outgrow them. She knows what I mean. To my dearest Zach, the rags I used to clean the crew kitchen. These are to be washed every Tuesday at 6:05 p.m, but not on a full moon. They must be professionally mended. My remaining 50 cents I will to the community theater with the stipulation that it be used to produce A Midsummer Night's Dream. Not my client, but was involved in some of the asset liquidation. Wealthy women left $1 million in trust for the care of her dogs. 2 sons and daughters were each given $10,000. That was the amount of the loan she received from her father. Honestly could be that the sons and daughters were all pieces of that didn't deserve more. If they were, why would she leave the men a thing at all? Not leaving anything is one thing. It could be interpreted in plenty of ways with excuses for why she did it. Leaving a 2008 Honda Civic's worth of your fortune is calculated. It's intentional. There's no misconceptions when she left 100x that for her pets. My cousin is a lawyer and apparently one guy grows out his beard all year long before shaving it on New Year's Day and saves it in a bag with the year written on it. He has on his will that certain years go to certain grandkids because that was the year they were born, got married, etc. The rest are to be raffled off equally to all of his descendants. Why does he think they even want his beard hair? Cause he is a wizard and his beards are necessary ingredients in certain spells and potions. Guy was going to leave his entire business to this kid and changed his mind because he and his grandpa stole fizzy lifting drink and the walls had to be cleaned and sterilized. I don't understand anything after the word grandpa. This man doesn't even hate Grandpa Joe like the rest of us. Spoke to a lawyer recently to work out some things related to wills. They said they're getting an increasing number of requests where lawyers are given the names and passwords to people's online accounts to social media and gaming platforms to let their online friends know they have passed on, shut the accounts down, and if the accounts have anything of value, to hand that out to remaining friends. Google has this built in now, so if you don't log in, it will delete all data or pass on credentials. Ike. Here's an answer that won't be popular, but is often the case. Absolutely nothing interesting. In my jurisdiction, there's very little room to be interesting or adventurous. People aren't allowed to control others' lives from the grave. The will is to deal with the person's property. Any games etc. will usually be of no effect, and any executor who would try to do so at the wishes of the deceased would likely find themselves replaced. With that aside, the most interesting is just parents leaving their children out of the will or creating testamentary trusts to avoid people they don't want taking an interest. Elderly women deciding their dogs and cats, no matter their age, should be immediately put down when they die and be buried/cremated with them is shockingly common. I'm honestly grossed out by this. This has not happened yet, but my grandma told me about it. She's still alive. I'm 41. She told me a few years ago that she's left me her eyes in her will. I have pretty bad eyes, but am able to see with contacts. I'm not a candidate for LASIK because my corneas are too thin. I'm super honored that she would think of me in that way, but I'm really creeped out by thinking that I'm going to get a call after she passes asking me what to do with them. There's a grandma with a lot of love, but yeah, kind of creepy to think about. Good luck with it. Not a lawyer, but I administered trusts and estates for 35 years with a large national bank. I had one trust where the truster left a ton of money to her grandkids. They got all the income from trust assets over the years and the trusts fully distributed to them at age 35. Except for one grandson. He was gay and a particular individual was held responsible for turning him that way. As trustee, we had verify that he was not in contact with his ex-lover once each year. If he was found to be in contact with him, his funds would be withheld for the following year until he could prove he was no longer seeing the guy. If he ever formed what seemed like a lasting relationship with the guy again, his trust would be shut down and the funds distributed to the trusts of the other grandkids. We used to just get a signed statement from the kid each year, and that was enough for the probate court to approve the annual accounting for the trust and the further disbursement of funds. After a few years, courts started approving negating trust provisions that seemed ridiculous for a trustee to have to adhere to, so the beneficiary and the bank went to court and we asked that the provision no longer be followed. The judge agreed that it was too much control from the grave and let the provision be struck down. Please like and subscribe and make sure to hit that little bell icon for more epic content.